years, the last Viking king in Jorvik was banished. Jorvik expanded dramatically, with new streets, new churches, and a brand new style of houses. It was a busy place, with people arriving from all over the Viking world to visit, trade, and settle. In this multicultural society, people have different appearances, languages, religions, and possessions. The remains of part of this thriving city were found right here, and by carefully piecing together all of the archaeological evidence and what we know from other sources, you can now visit the Viking Age. You have arrived by the river Foss. Ahead lies the city with countless houses and workshops, many of them newly rebuilt. Some, like this damaged one, a victim of an untended half-bound. As ships became more seaworthy, the Vikings created wider trading routes, sometimes using chains of middlemen to carry goods from one side of the Viking world to the other. Silks and the cowrie shell found here suggest trade with Central Asia, the Eastern Mediterranean and the Red Sea. Especially this route made their way to Europe to sell. Slavers may have come to Europe for double elsewhere, bringing with them the spoils of their raids back in. Slaves were an important part of society all over Northern and Western Europe at this time. It looks like this slave trader was trying to make his way up to Copenhagen. But before we get there, let's have a look at some of the many craftspeople working here in the city. Here's Sigurd. He's using animal bones and handprint to make some everyday objects such as combs, comb cases, skates, and bone bones. Making a comb from antler would be very time consuming, but the ones found here were made from many pieces riveted together and then decorated. We know that the Vikings liked to keep themselves well groomed, as we found many combs in the excavations, as well as items such as tweezers and even ear screws. We'll now head away from here towards the street of Copenhagen and meet some more of the people who lived and worked here. Ahead, you can see a simple, single-story building. These older houses were built from posts and rockwood and have earth walls and thatched roofs. Most of these houses went out of use in the middle of the 10th century when they were replaced by the oak-plank building that we'll talk about later. These early houses were built end-on to the streets and had long backyards with rubbish bins in them. It's not likely that they grew much food in the yards, but they probably kept animals there, such as those pigs you can see in the pen by the fence. From the many pig bones we found here, we know that Viking pigs were quite short and had a long snout like a royal boar. Pigs will eat almost anything, so would have been a great way to turn household waste into meat. Here's the blacksmith's house. Look inside, you can see his wife by the fire. Grummy, the blacksmith, is teaching his son how to sharpen a knife he's just made. Viking Age smiths were masters of their craft, and here in Europe they made everything from needles to beautifully ornate panels. Now we'll go across to the next property and visit his neighbour, Unni, a woodturner who lives in one of the new style wooden plank buildings. Unni is making cups and bowls by turning wood such as oak or ash into cold. You can see all the wooden corners on the ground which children may have used as screen tops. By the way, it's this trade that many think gave its name to Copenhagen, the street of the cup makers. Another building is being built behind Unni's house. Here, the cellar is being dug out and lined with oak planks before the upper story is added. You can see a stack of turrets over there that are going to be used to roof this building. Looks like the builders are having a rest though. This family also looked like they're taking a break. The children were being taught to play Nefertari by their grandfather. We found a wooden gaming board and lots of playing pieces made from bone, wood and ivory, so it must have been a popular pastime. Let's go back to the beginning where the big trading ships have come up from the North Sea. Here, traders are unloading their goods alongside fishermen and goods and raw materials from across Britain, as well as rare and valuable items from further afield, were brought into Jorvik here. Iron alloy bars from Britain alongside amber, sharpening stones and walrus iron from Scandinavia, and good wine from the Viking. Jorvik was truly bustling, a vast international trading centre. Here's some fishermen cleaning their catch and mending their nets. Fish from the rivers and the sea were brought into Jorvik, and we found thousands of fish bones that tell us exactly what they can be, which included lots of fish, eels, and even oysters. So these men are probably doing a rare trade. Have a look at the man clutching the fish. His face has been reconstructed based on a skull that was found in Jorvik. Later on in the visit, we'll see more real faces like this. This next block is a backyard where the people living here seem to have been dyeing their own cloth. The people of Jorvik spun fleece, then dyed and wove their own wool to make textiles from which they made their own clothes. Natural dye plants such as madder, weld, rose, and dyer's greenwood were all used to create shades of red, yellow, blue, and green. Vibrantly coloured clothes have certainly brightened up the streets of Jorvik. On this plot of land, there was a gully containing dyed plant waste, suggesting that a dye bath had been tipped into it. Limestone line backings running up to this next building, forming a passageway to the back door. We are now entering one of the new style oak plank buildings. We're still discussing whether these buildings were one or two story, but they all had rooms or cells below ground level. As we travel through this two-roomed house, you can imagine the floor at the back has been filled, and you can see the cellar below where goods are stored. Above this sunken room, the window openings are only small, so as you can see, it would have been quite dark inside these houses. In addition to the home, small pottery lamps and wax candles were used to create light so that the people who lived here could carry out their everyday tasks. In this front room, you can see a woman working at the loom, which was used to weave woolen cloth for clothing and blankets. We're now moving into Coppergated South, an important commercial street right in the heart of the city of Jorvik. As you can see from these stores, you can buy almost anything. Coppergate is just one of the many streets in this city, which was home to more than 10,000 people. The streets of the city of Jorvik are covered in filth and mud, rutted by cart wheels and with potholes everywhere. This leather worker seems to be having a problem sewing his shoe pieces together, and looks like he has Viking disease, a Dupuytren's contracture. You can see it's caused the fingers on his hand to become clawed. It's a genetic disorder that runs in families, and seen particularly in middle-aged men. Tradition has it that it originated from the Vikings who spread it throughout Northern Europe and beyond, travelling here to marry. This couple here are arguing about what to have for supper. meat or fish, it would seem that life hasn't changed too much over the last 1,000 years. They're arguing in old laws, but if you listen carefully, you could hear Old English, Middle Welsh, and Old Irish all being spoken on this street. Here's a food seller trying to sell this wealthy-looking woman cabbage of some sort. It doesn't look like the type of thing that would take her or her young lady. This woman looks like she's struggling to cross the road. We only found 2 complete skeletons in the excavations here, and this woman is based on one of them. You can see that she's walking with a crutch due to her hip problems and arthritis. You can find out more about her in the galleries to come. We're in the middle of a new building. The first Vikings who came out were not Christians and worshipped their pagan Norse gods, but they seem to have adopted Christianity quite quickly. There is lots of evidence for there being a Viking-era church just behind Copperwood, and there were many other new churches built in Jorvik at this time. Here's a priest administering last rites. He would always have worn a stole around his neck, as seen here, as it marked his priestly status. We found a very small, silk, pink-coloured relic room in one of the buildings. The embroidered cross on it suggests that it once held holy relics, which have since disappeared and are now a mystery. Each property is separated from the next by woven wattled fences. We know from the 5 tons of animal bone found in the excavation that the people's diet was quite similar to ours, with lots of beef, pork and meat, as well as poultry and fish. Supplying this food may have been one of the reasons for the major changes in the countryside we see around Europe at this time. In this backyard, animals have been slaughtered to provide meat and other resources. Body parts of cattle must have been a fairly familiar sight and smell around Viking years ago. As well as supplying meat, cattle carcasses also provided horn and iron, both valuable resources for making everyday items. Stomach contents and cowbell were other byproducts of this slaughter. There must have been loads of flies breeding in rubbish pits and dumps across the city. The red pig there on the fence would have been a regular visitor, scavenging in the city, particularly in the backyard. Toilets would also have been situated in the backyard. Pits in this yard were clearly used for a tree, as they were full of human waste, as well as moss and a type of Viking-age toilet paper. This man here doesn't look too happy to be disturbed, so perhaps we'd better move on quickly. Here, we are in our final house. In the excavations of Copperwood, we found a few Viking-age musical instruments, including a set of panflutes which can still be played. Music, Saga Italian poetry must have been important in the Viking. Iceland and Scandinavia have culturally rich and stories, a tradition that developed in the Viking time. Norse mythology, which conjures up gods and monsters living in known realms, still captures the imagination today. And we can picture what it was like sitting around a hearth, enjoying tall tales of magic and bravery. As we arrive at the end of your journey through Jorvik, remember that everything you have seen is based on the evidence dug up by archaeologists from the York Archaeological Trust. You can see some of the 40,000 actual objects they found here in the displays ahead, and you can find out more by asking one of our team.